morning to all traders and welcome to this Monday's Market Insights video on global indices. We're going to have a quick look on the US index against the majors, of course, the S&P as well as the DAX in Germany. Now, last week we saw equities keep rising. Dollar on the other side, although it has been weak over the past few months, I would say, well, we start seeing some sort of corrections now, I believe, at least from a technical perspective, and specifically on Friday's correction, let's just say, or strength, we've experienced, or we actually saw the European Union as well as the US PMIs being the main driver. As in Europe, we have had the PMIs actually disappointing, whereas in the US side, the PMIs were actually quite upbeat. So for that reason, we've seen a shift in the majors. That included the UK PMIs as well. We have shift in the majors with some flows coming into the dollar, and equities actually continued rising as well. Now, over the weekend, we've heard news about Trump really pushing for a vaccine, well, around October, if not mistaken. So he wants to bypass all the regulations and just go for a vaccination that is actually in a partnership with AstraZeneca and Oxford University, if not mistaken, in order, of course, to regain some public confidence, as we all know, following, of course, the Democratic Convention as well. Well, he seems to be losing to John Biden. So this week we're also expecting the Jackson Hole Summit, and this is perhaps going to, up until Thursday, have the markets not much changed. However, we can still, of course, despite expecting the markets to remain sort of in consolidation until then, wouldn't be surprised if we see some moves pricing in some expectations for the Thursday's headlines. So going ahead first with the US index, guys, we've been talking about this becoming a triangle, right? Actually, we talked about that last week. As we can see, well, with this low now, I've had to change the count a little bit. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, an ABC flat for wave 4, and then an ending diagonal for 5, which is wave 3 as well. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, which to me looks like the A wave of a correction in wave 4. We're going to get a wave B and then a wave C for wave 4. Now, perhaps we could create a triple top over here, and that would be the end of wave 4, and we are going to move lower then to take out wave 5, which is primary wave 3, and from there 3, 4, and 5 down. Now we see some sort of signal on the MACD as well, and that indicates that we could indeed be heading a little bit higher up to complete wave 4. Now wave 4 could form a triple top. Obviously, we could still see prices moving a little bit higher, but I don't expect that to go above 95.70. Okay. Now another scenario is looking at this formation as a corrective pattern, right? Which means now we are in wave X, okay? That is a W, X, and Y. And this wave, we've had A, B, and we're about to end wave C, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, this could potentially bring us to a low below the scenario before, okay, around the 91.30 maybe, or even lower down to 89 or so, and then reverse all the way up for wave Y, right? Now the difference between the two is, of course, that one would signal a reversal, the other one would be primary wave 4 and then 5, okay? Now with the S&P, on the 4-hour chart, well, a 4 down here, and then we are into a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 correction, which is going to just pretty much form a fresh high above the previous one, right? And it's looking that we are in wave 4 and we are actually heading for wave 5, right? We just ended wave 4 actually, so we are in wave 5 indeed. That seems to suggest that we might just get another move to the upside to take out this trend line, okay, perhaps to the 36 level or so, and then really start moving lower, and this low is going to take us below the 2188. The signal on the RSI is quite weak, however bearish. Now, looking at this scenario, I also need to consider the opportunity, the chance of this being an ABC, which is a flat pattern, right? So that would suggest that we have ABC, well, another correction, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all the way down to 2180, right? Or perhaps, very similar, this could be an expanded flat, right? So in case this turns out to be an expanded flat, then we are still looking at this to move up, but the 38.2 Fibonacci extension of this wave A is at 38.51. So you can really see here that despite thinking that we are bullish, and despite even prices moving up in the end, well, even if we see that happening, we could still go to 31.51, and that being a corrective move. Now, if that turns out to be an expanded flat, we're looking at the 1442, okay? If it turns out to be a running flat, we're looking at 2471, okay? And that area over here would be considered the area where the another wave to the upside would be expected above this level over here. And last, now let's have a quick look also on the German DAX. On the German DAX, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, of course, okay? And I'm looking at this as an ABC expanded flat over here. So we are into wave 1, 2, 3, we're expecting 4, and then we're gonna get a 5 above the previous high of 14 or so, and then start moving lower for a from a cycle degree correction. So as you can see now, we've done the minor and in diagonal. Here we have ABC, ABC, okay, and ABC could be a flat, or to me, because this looks quite corrective still, right? It looks like we're moving 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then we haven't ended wave B. That to me suggests that we're gonna get another wave up over here and then move lower for wave 4. Now, wave 4 usually goes down to wave A, or we could see that actually going to the previous low of 1150 or so, right? Which is also the minor wave 4, and from there move all the way up, okay? Now the other scenario, and I'm not talking about the scenario of this ending wave, I'm just looking at this as a another move to the upside over here, okay, with that being wave 3, right? That actually would mean that, well, 1, 2, you know, we're gonna have a much extended wave 5 over here, okay? Because that would mean that this is wave 1, this is wave 2, this is part of wave 3 extension, okay? And then we're gonna see the 4 and then the 5, okay? So this will be all for the day. If you have any comments, please do not hesitate to comment on the YouTube video, and I will get that back to you as soon as possible.